conversations that took place over the last week on the OFM Business Hour. One of them being a Libacheng sit-down with Jason Hamilton. He's from the University of Stellenbosch's Business School. Here's a part of their conversation.
Thank you so much, Jason, for joining us on the Business Hour. You say that South Africa has a limited window of opportunity to rebuild or reset the economy. What do you mean by this limited window of opportunity? What are the opportunities that are lying in this small window?
Well, I think there's definitely positives and negatives of what we're facing currently. So I think if we're looking at growth, and I think growth is a key factor to focus on, and then maybe a bit later we can touch on that. But I think from factors considering what's impacting that, there's a couple that really stand out. And let's focus on the negatives first. I think vaccination rates remain low and giving rise to, I think, further threats of waves, which then leads to restrictive economies, and this is true for South Africa, but also for the region, and ultimately then leading to investor and consumer confidence being down. Then, coupled with this, we also still have concerns and uncertainty around SMEs, coupled with the ability of Eskom to supply electricity, at least over the medium term, until we see some of the new projects and further or new projects coming online, and also then some of the further reforms taking effect. And then global growth, even before now, the geopolitical risk has also been slowing as we see stimulus being rolled back. And then a new thing that's come up is inflationary pressure. And I know we as South Africans know about inflation, but internationally they haven't really seen this. And now with the geopolitical risk, that's definitely going to stay elevated for much longer. And then this further exasperated by continued supply chain constraints. However, as we said this, I think there are positives. And I think the positives are that the global stimulus that we have seen is filtering through the market, so supporting trade. Commodity prices and demand remain elevated, at least over the medium term. We saw the effect of that, companies trading better, and we saw also that coming through with SARS collecting more revenue. And we have seen reforms being put into action. So again, if we're looking at the budget as well, the budget deficit is down and looking to reduce. The debt peak is reaching us sooner and at lower levels, 75%. Only last year, this time, we were talking about 90%. So significant factors and impacts coming through, very positive, putting us on a better base. But again, as we said, with these positives coming through around commodity prices being higher, this buys us that window of time of sort of 2 to 3 years where we can reset our economy from a private and public sector point of view. But again, reform is needed and it's time for action. So there really needs to be the focus now, even more so than before, on effective and efficient implementation.
That was Jason Hamilton from the University of Stellenbosch's Business School. That full conversation is available in podcast form. You can catch that on ofm.co.za.
Suid-Afrikaanse beesvleis staan vir niks terug nie. Met die hulp van Suid-Afrika se